Love
charcoal
that.
gray with that little bit of yellow on the bottom of
Right.
the. Oh yeah, we are. Hi.
We're live. Happy Friday. We're talking about cars. Love
Which
it.
is not has nothing to do with our topic today, but that's what we were talking about.
So we do have a cool topic today. As always, I say that every time, but
Yes, you
I
do.
like our topics. Today we're kind of talking about what type of business you should set up, maybe why or what to consider, or anything we come up with in the realm of that topic. And I named a couple of things that we might mention, but one-on-one, group, hybrid courses, high ticket, low ticket.
So not necessarily
Any,
what type of business, but what type of offerings, right?
yeah,
What type of
yeah.
offerings for a service-based business?
Yeah, I should have written that. I think I wrote what type of business. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll edit it later. We'll see. Probably not. Anyway, yeah, type of offerings. So, like everything else, I say my favorite answer is it depends. And of course, I like all of the above. Those are my probably two favorite answers. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that is true. It does depend. You know, the thing is, if you go out on the internet, go out on the interwebs and check around, like everybody's got everybody's doing this, but you have to do this. And I guarantee you can take any one of those things on the list and find somebody that says something to the effect of stop doing that and do this. Because every single one of them can work, but every single one of them works differently. So it's a matter of where are your strengths, and that's something we've talked about a lot. Is work towards your strengths, and not to say that you can't grow and learn new skills and develop new skills, but at the same time, don't push the boulder up the hill when you can. When you can roll it down the hill. Like find your strengths, find what you like to do. And I've used this example a lot. I don't like accounting. I'm not ever going to be an accountant. that's not something that I ever have any interest in doing. So I'm not going to like force myself into that box. I'm going to either get help or figure out some way to make it easy for me, like QuickBooks. Um, but if it's something that you like to do, then go for it. Now, if you look at that list and you're like, oh, and you kind of alluded to this for yourself. Oh, I like that one and that one and that one and that one. Well, start with one.
Yeah, you have
Because
to focus on something to start.
you
It
can't
doesn't mean you
ride,
can't
you can't,
have it all, but
right. You can't ride four horses with one saddle. Like it's not going to
exactly. That's a very good visual.
work. the
Yeah, I agree. You kind of need to focus in on at least something to start, even if it's not, necessarily where you want to be. Or you can change it up as you go. Like if you start with one on one and then you move into group, you might move into hybrid. You might continue your one on one, but make it like super duper duper high ticket so that you have very few of those. I mean, there's all sorts of ways to kind of play around with it depending on what you want in your life. And I think one of the things you said, Rick, was really important is kind of play to your strengths, your personality, what lights you up. A lot of people don't want to stand in front of a group of people and talk. And if that is not something you want to do, then don't do that.
right.
Um,
Yeah. So find out what you like to do. Not to say don't stretch your comfort zone, because that's another quote that I go back to a lot. There's no growth in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the growth zone, and that's important. It is important to grow and stretch and get out of that comfort zone, but there's a difference between getting out of the comfort zone and just trying to force yourself into a box you don't belong in, like me with accounting. I mean, it just
yeah. Or you could start so you can kind of stabilize, start and stabilize in one that's a little bit more comfortable and start kind of reaching into that other one so that it's not, do or die and you just freeze and do nothing. Because that's where you definitely don't want to be is, oh, that's too scary and I'm doing nothing now.
right. Yeah, so it's consistency and competency. You've got to deliver the results that you promise, and you've got to do it in a profitable way. And I'll kind of fall back on another example that I've used in the past, not for a while, but when I first started marketing on the digital side, you know, almost 10 years ago now, I was trying to do everything. Like, oh yeah, I'll do WordPress websites, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, and I'm able to do a WordPress website. Takes me forever. It is not profitable, and the outcome is not something that the customer is like, oh my god, I've never seen anything so amazing. Like, it's just okay, and it takes me forever. So it's not something that I stopped doing that when I realized, like, this is not this is costing everybody more than it's benefiting anybody. So
Yeah, I think it's good to kind of zero in. And to be honest, I mean, I started in digital marketing too. My first website, I lost so much money on that because of, I think we've talked about this before, but contracts, like knowing what is included and what isn't included and all of that type of thing.
right.
And those are growing pains that maybe everybody kind of goes through. And a lot of times you don't necessarily know what you want until you start taking action. It's like, finding your voice is really hard until you start speaking. So you need to kind of just, if you can't decide, pin the tail on the donkey, pick one and go for it. And you'll start figuring out what you really like, what you don't like, what you want to move towards, or what change, whatever it is that you want to do. And like in our world, everybody wants to talk about high ticket, high ticket, high ticket. But there are plenty of people who've made a lot of money in low ticket. So, don't believe the hype, I think, is one of the best things to think about in this business. Is there's always going to be somebody, like you mentioned, saying, you've got to do this, but don't do this. And it's almost 99.99% not true. It's working for them because they're doing it in this way. But if you really want this one, find somebody else who's doing that and see how they're doing it. Because like you said, all of them work.
Yep.
All of them work if you stick to it and you really, go all in on it. Get some help, whatever it is you need to do, pivot, change, assess, reassess, do whatever you need to do. But the main thing is, kind of moving forward, I think. And what are some things do you think to consider? Because you said kind of work for your, like, lean in on your strengths. So what do you think, like, strength wise would make the difference in choosing one or the other?
I'm trying to think how to frame this best. And I think if I kind of encompass what you just said into my answer is going to be the best way to answer that. And that is, like we just said, you need to go all in on one thing. However, like you mentioned, you may not know what that one thing is. So it's okay to dip your toe into the different areas that interest you, but don't base your decision on which one to follow on only the outcomes, because when you're just dipping your toe in, the outcomes are not going to meet your expectations, most likely, because most of us, we set these enormously high expectations for the outcome, and then if it doesn't meet it, we're like, oh, that doesn't work. Like, that's that's it's our nature. Like, that's our go-to, is like, oh, it doesn't work because I tried it and it didn't work. Until you really
And
go
that's
all in
kind of
on
why
it.
you kind of need to stick to one thing, because you
Right.
really need to do it over and over and over.
Yeah. But at the same time, you need to figure out what that one thing is. So it's okay to try the different things. And instead of setting the expectation of it has to be successful, it's only successful if I get this much return or something like that. The expectation is which one really lights me up, which one is the one that I really enjoy doing. And my customers, my clients, however you refer to them, are getting the most benefit from.
Yeah. I mean, you want it to be a win-win, 100%. For one, I think just by nature of the beast, if you are in a service-based business, it's because you are, giving somebody a good service. And so that's one of the things. If you're not 110% into it, you're not going to give 110%. So you need to figure out, what's exciting and what's fun. But the other thing is sometimes we think that we need to love every single piece and aspect of what we're doing to love what we're doing. That's not necessarily true. Find the parts that you like, because there are going to be things that you have to do in your business that you're not like, oh my God, this is so awesome. There are definitely going to be parts that you don't like, but you still have to do those parts. So you need to zero in on the parts that you love and make sure that you're remembering those when you have to do the ones that you don't love so much.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you choose one of the things, and every time, if you're doing a group session or if you're doing a one-on-one session, if right before that you're like, if at any point you're feeling like, then pick something else that's not working.
Yeah, exactly. What about, let's touch on for a quick second. What about affiliate marketing? Do you think that's a good choice when you're first starting off, maybe for some people?
It can be. Again, that has to do with positioning. I think that the pitfall for affiliate marketing, and I've never considered myself an affiliate marketer, and I've promoted other programs and been compensated for that. So technically, that makes it affiliate marketing. However, I don't position it like that for myself because that's how it works for me. So, for example, I represent.
Hold on. Let's just say real quick. We probably should have done this before we dove in, but affiliate marketing. Let's define it real quick.
Go ahead.
It's basically like being a salesperson for somebody else, right?
Yeah, you're offering somebody else's product or service
instead of your own.
Right. So
okay, continue.
Just using an example of a popular name, let's say Tony Robbins has a program and he's offering to, it's essentially you're getting commission for paying for selling somebody else's program. So, you get a link to promote, and then, whatever sales go through by using that link, then you get compensated whatever the program, whatever it is. And you get basically rewarded for selling their product or service. And I think the biggest pitfall where people fail and or stumble is, they get an affiliate link, and then they just blast it all over social media and like, all right, I'm going to get like waiting for the sales now. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. With affiliate marketing, it's more important than ever to stand out, because especially when it comes to an affiliate program, you're competing with possibly hundreds or even thousands of other people selling the same product or service. So you've got to set yourself apart and
build relationships.
But one of the best ways to set yourself apart is to have your own offering in addition to that. So, something to the effect of, so if you buy this program from me, then this is the offer that you're getting from, these are the bonuses you're getting from me for free. Maybe you're offering a course, maybe you're offering some coaching, maybe you're offering, whatever it is, but you've got to sweeten the pot, basically.
I also think, like, maybe when you're first starting off, if you don't necessarily know, 100%, what you want to coach about or what you want to do, it's okay to start off. If you want to do some kind of like videos, getting your point of view out there and getting yourself out there, doing some podcast interviews, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to start doing that, putting out your messaging a little bit, because I think until you really start putting it out there, you don't know who and what you are all about. So if you're one of those people that's like, I don't necessarily want to create any courses or a program or, something about who you do, if you don't want to create your own stuff, your own coaching or consulting yet, that's a good time to start that affiliate marketing, and still at the same time be building your own voice and your own kind of group of people that are going to follow you and listen to what you want to do. I mean, there are a lot of influencers, who never create their own products and literally are just, advising or influencing people to buy somebody else's product. So you can totally go that route if creating your own product seems a little bit daunting at the moment. And I have actually worked with some people who just never want to create their own, like they want to just use somebody else's products. And that is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, not what you do, not what I do, but I say perfectly okay, because not everybody wants to have their own, framework and their own way of doing things and all of that. So if that's you, then, you might do that, and you might find, licensing is another way to do that. Instead of affiliate marketing, you can actually license somebody's work. I know Bob Proctor, there's a lot of Bob Proctor coaches out there, and that's what they do. They license Bob Proctor. He died, but his coaching and stuff, and then they coach based on that. So they're trained to coach in what he does. And that's another way to do it, where you don't have to create all of your own stuff. Because a lot of people, I think, are a little bit fearful of that. I mean, I
Right.
love that. I think for everybody, if you can create your own, you should. But when you're first starting off, if that's too daunting, then you can always do licensing, or you could do affiliate, something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, you see it everywhere in the sports world. It's endorsements, right? They paid endorsements. So companies like Nike and Adidas and all the different sports apparel companies pay these athletes to promote their products, and often their endorsement deals net them more profit than their actual paycheck for being on the court or on the field,
Which is crazy because they're
which is
making a ton of
crazy.
money. One thing to consider if you do decide to go that route is your reputation is you. It's everything. I mean, everything. So don't do it for the money of only. Obviously you want to make a profit, and we're all about making money, but do it because you believe in the product, or because if you love Nike, obviously that's an easy choice. And the same thing goes in this kind of world. If you have studied Bob Proctor and you want to license his stuff, that's cool because you know it and you love it. But when it comes to affiliate, you need to kind of be a little bit more careful, because a lot of people will just do it almost anything. You don't want to do that because you'll get the reputation for doing it like that. You want to build relationships, and you want those people to trust your opinions and what you say, and you want it to be because you like what you're offering your audience.
Absolutely. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying initially at the beginning of this conversation. I don't consider myself an affiliate marketer because I don't just rep products like, oh, you want this? Here's my affiliate link. Oh, you want this? Here's my affiliate link. I don't do that. I only promote products essentially, or services that I personally use. Either I personally use or have used and am comfortable with. So there's some that I've used and maybe I've moved on from that, but I still like the company. I just moved on for a different reason. And that doesn't speak negatively of the company. It's just, my circumstances, needs, whatever, have evolved past whatever that offered me, but that might be perfect for somebody else.
Exactly. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's important for us to know, kind of like, who you surround yourself with. You
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're putting out there what you want to represent.
100%. Yep.
Love it. So I think it's fun if you're just starting off in business. If you've been in business 5 years and you're like, I kind of need to add something to what I'm doing, you're in the same place, but just jump in, add something, and see how it feels, and go from there. And, always it's easier to do it if you have a mentor, a coach, something like that. You can talk to either one of us, but, find somebody else that's doing it, whatever you want to do, but get in a group where people are talking about it, however you want to do it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's great to start adding to what you have, even if you've only been doing one thing for a while now.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, what's action for the day?
If you don't actively have a product offering, or you're not loving your current product offering, or you just want to make a switch, then start looking at the choices and figure out what lights you up. And, either pick a couple that you want to try out, or pick one, focus on it, go all in, and, do your best to make it work.
I love it. Yes. And I mean, I think you can do that right now.
Yeah.
Spend the weekend kind of looking around, seeing what you like, and on Monday, go for it.
Yep.
Jump in.
100%.
All right. Have an amazing weekend. See
Yes.
you all.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy.
Same time, same place.
Same time.